Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Nate here from Nate Coolin' It, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about the time I got my homeboy zooted. Or not me, it took a little help from my homeboy Michael, but before we get into the video, I just want to talk about why I haven't been uploading at all. And that's just because I've been working way too much. Like, I'd be working 12 hours a day, 60 hours a week type shit. So, it's kind of hard to fit the uploading in with everything else I want to do during my day. But trust me, I still got that fire under my ass, and I still want to be posting shit for y'all. But yeah, so before we hop into the story time, let's take a hit of the day. And it's on a motherfucking glow cart. I know that shit fake as hell, but who cares? It gets me intoxicated. Cheers. Damn, that was fire. But shit, anyways, let's get right into the video. Alright, y'all, I don't know why, but I just stopped making the video after the intro, but I'm gonna continue the shit, so let's get into it. So this takes place in my grandparents', or the first part of it takes place in my grandparents' house. Man, you motherfucking redneck. Shut up. But yeah, so this takes place, first off, my grandparents, and I was with, let's call them fucking Carson, so I'm with Carson and Morrison. Yeah, that's a really rich, douchey name that fits him perfectly. So yeah, I'm with Carson and Morrison, and I wanted to hit up my boy Michael because we were all bored, and Michael always had some fun shit to do. He liked boxing a lot, so we usually went over there and just beat the shit out of each other and did drugs. But yeah, so I hit up my boy Michael, and he see what he's on, and he's like, yeah, not shit, you should slide through. And I'm like, yeah, I got Carson and Morrison, you still cool if we all slide through? And he was like, yeah, for sure. So we slide down to Michael's house, and it was kind of dope because he had like a whole ass basement to himself. It was pretty much just like an apartment. So we go down there, we go through the garage, we go to his room, we say what's up, dap him up, whatever. And when we're there, he pulls out a cart, and this is when I'm very new to smoking. So I smoked back when I was in 8th grade, like very, very casually, like maybe once a month. And in 9th grade, it started to pick up a little bit more. But like I've only at this point though, I've probably only smoked like 15, 20 times, which is not a lot at all. So any hit of weed would get me absolutely zooted. So when I'm down there, or we're all down there, I see the cart and I'm like, hey yo, let me hit that. And he passes it to me and I smack the shit like a whole bunch of times. And the funny thing is Brody sold, and excuse me. So he sold and shit. And the cart that I was hitting was one of the carts that he was trying to sell, because he wasn't like a big dealer or anything, but like he only picked up like 3 or 4 carts at a time and flipped them real quick for a little extra buck or something like that. And but yeah, that's besides the point. So we're hitting this shit, and he tells me to slow down a little bit because he's trying to sell it. So I was like, oh shit, maybe I'm hitting it a little too much. And I pass it back to him, and then he hits it, and then he looks at me and he's like, actually, fine. And so he just fucking passes it back to me, and we just start both hitting the shit out of it. And the only reason he did this is because he thought, or not he thought, but he knew I was really new to smoking, and he wanted to get me as high as humanly possible, which is the funny thing because I got high as fuck. So this is where my homie Morrison comes in the story. So I start tweaking out and I start rocking, like I'm sitting crisscross applesauce on this man's basement floor, rocking back and forth, singing children's songs. I think I was singing like the ABCs or some shit. And I was just sitting there rocking back and forth with my eyes real fucking low, red as shit. I was just acting like a crackhead. And my homie takes out his phone and he starts recording. Morrison does. And he says, man, Sober Nate's gonna love this video. And I look at him and I just start tweaking out about him like showing my grandparents or some shit, because I turned around, I'm like, yo, no, don't show that to anybody, delete that. And I start tweaking the fuck out about him recording it, and I was like, dude, take a hit to prove that you're not gonna tell on me. And like, this is like the freshman year, so this is when you're like a little younger and you like don't want people to know that you smoke. Now I don't really give a shit, people know that shit, but who cares. But yeah, so I start I start tweaking and telling him to take a hit, and he's like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna take a hit. And I was like, dude, come on, you have to take a hit, dude. I swear to God, if you don't, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you because you're gonna snitch on me or some shit. And right when we were in the middle of that argument, he gets a call from his mom, and she's like, hey, you need to take your brother to the park. And he's like, arguing with his mom, trying to tell her no, she should take him to the park. This dude was a rich little douchebag. Let me tell you, fuck that kid. But anyways, yeah, he's arguing with her, but she finally convinces him to take him to the park. So him and Carson go, and honestly, Carson isn't really an important part of the story. I just added him because he was there. But yeah, fucking Morrison and Carson go to take his brother to the fucking park. I'm just sitting there chilling with Michael, just not really doing a whole lot, just watching some fucking shit on YouTube, listening to music. Um, Wait, no, actually, I do remember one thing. Oh, this conversation's funny as fuck. We were talking about all the drugs we done, and I looked at him as, like, jokingly, because I knew this kid, like, fucked around with, like, script pills and shit, but, like, I didn't think it went this deep. So I was like, hey, man, you ever smoked meth? And he looks me dead in the eyes, and he's like, yeah, that shit's nasty as hell. And I look at him, and, like, I was dumbfounded. I was like, yo, what the? You actually smoked meth? And, like, that gave me a whole new perspective on how in deep this motherfucker was. But, like, I mean, it's kind of sad, though, because this dude was, like, 17, 16, smoking fucking meth. He didn't like it, thank God. But, yeah, that was just fucking weird. Like, I can't believe my homie smoked meth at, like, a sophomore or a fucking junior. That's nutty. But anyways, so I'm just chilling there, and we're just sitting there, hitting his cart some more, and we're boxing and shit. And eventually, fucking Carson and Morrison slide back. And when they come back, there's fucking Morrison, and I'm like, hey, yo, you gotta take a hit of the cart. And he keeps telling me no. And, like, this is straight up peer pressure. But, hey, he chose to hit it. I didn't force him. He grabbed it out of my here. I passed it to him, and he took a hit. So I keep trying to convince him to take a hit, and then eventually he says, okay, just a little one. And he takes it out of my hand, or not takes it, but I pass it to him, and he hits it like just a and then blows it out. And I'm like, nah, bro. And then Michael pipes in, and he's like, nah, bro, you got to hit a blinker on that bitch. So Morrison takes it. He wants to impress Michael because Michael's like, this motherfucking, like, gangsta-ass dude. And this kid, he's, like, really fake. He changes, like, how he acts around different people. I think that shit's weird as fuck. But anyways, so he takes it, and then he attempts to blinker, but he only gets about 4 seconds in before smoke starts coming out of every hole in his body, and he starts coughing a goddamn lung up. He's sitting there dying, and Morrison, me, Michael, and Carson were all sitting there fucking laughing our asses off at Morrison, because Morrison starts tweaking out, being like, hey, yo, I need a drink, I need a drink, I need a drink. So fucking Michael goes and grabs him water, and bro takes a sip. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So after that, after Morrison gets his hits in, he's like, starts tweaking, and he's like, yeah, I think I want to go home. So we're like, man, fuck it, let's go. So we start to go home. We hop on our bikes, because that's how we got there. We didn't have no cars at the time. We were motherfucking in ninth grade. So we hop on our bikes. And as we're biking home, Morrison starts tweaking out about, like, cotton mouth. He's like, bro, my mouth is dry. Am I dying? And the dude starts to cry while riding a bike down the street. He's pedaling fast as fuck, asking, bro, am I dying, bro? Am I dying? He just keeps repeating that shit over and over again. But eventually, when we got back to his house, I was like, bro, you gotta chill. Stop crying. And eventually, after we get him a bev, he stops crying and being a little bitch. But honestly, we got him way too fucking stoned. But yeah, this is the story, and thank y'all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a smacking ass day.